Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about personality and the utility of personality types. So to begin with, what is your personality? Your personality is basically the natural way you behave. And this comes from the premises that you hold about other people, about reality, about how you should act, all these sort of things. So like, for example, if you believe that you need to control people to get what you want out of them, then you're going to have a more bossy personality. So ultimately, since this is a fairly automatized process, and it's a fairly automatized process since it's like how you behave naturally, and it's very difficult to change. So ultimately, your personality stems from your subconscious. It stems from how you automatically respond to certain things. So from that, it seems like it's very much inbuilt. However, it's not necessarily inbuilt, as your subconscious is born a blank slate, but over time, you begin to create premises in your subconscious that ultimately lead to lead to how you think about things and ultimately influence your actions, which determines what your personality is. So that's kind of the main disagreement that I would have with people who emphasize personality types. I think they tend to have this idea that personality is fairly set at birth, and that you don't really change it, and you can move around in it to an extent, but it's very much biological, which doesn't make much sense to me, since personality comes from how you act, and your actions are very much based on choice. It's not necessarily the idea of choice on every single issue, because you can only focus a certain amount of the time. A lot of stuff is automatic, but you ultimately have a choice in how you automatically respond to things, because you choose what premises you hold in your subconscious. And that is basically how your personality is determined. However, I do think there is a legitimate function to personality types. I think this categorization is a valid way of looking at things. This is because each specific thing that determines personality, there's only a finite set of beliefs that you can hold about that personality, or that trait, or that certain personality type. You can hold there's a range of different things that you can believe about it. So I think it's legitimate to categorize someone based on what their subconscious premise would be in that category. So ultimately, people will tend to lump around certain things because there's only one or two different responses that you could possibly give to. There's only two responses that you could give to any question where there's only two answers, and that's how a lot of premises arise, because premises are how you, or what your beliefs on a certain deep philosophical question are. And ultimately, most things are either a yes or no question, or something of that sort. So people will tend to clump around certain answers to things because there's only a finite set of answers. So therefore, people will often tend to have a certain set of premises. So these will have a certain set of premises that lead to a definable personality type. And since everything is connected, since everything mental, you naturally want to integrate to an extent. I think the rational mind tends to have some desire to integrate just out of the requirements of rationality. So I think people tend to form a certain, if they form one certain premise, they'll tend to form another whole group of premises, just because that's what reason requires, because everything's integrated, and it's really difficult to hold contradictions in your mind. So if you hold a certain premise, it'll naturally lead to other certain premises, and this ultimately develops this general idea of a personality type, a whole wide-ranging personality. So I do think, for that reason, that the idea of a personality type is a fairly valid idea. Although I think it can be changed because you can change your subconscious and you ultimately do have final control over your behavior. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.